A very good morning, children. Welcome to Standard 4 Social Studies class. Today we are going to begin a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Maps Are Guides. As you all know, our Earth is a very large planet, and it is so beautiful that we would like to see and know about every part of it. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole, because a globe is a small model of our earth. But when we want to study about only a specific part of the earth, as our country, state, or town, a globe is of little help. And in such situation, we use maps. What is a map? A map is a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it on a flat surface according to a scale. A map can be folded, it can be put into a pocket, and it is easy to carry. Maps give us more specific and detailed information when we compare it to a globe. Even the smallest area can be enlarged, it can be made bigger and shown on a map. Here you can see the picture of a globe and a map. As you can see, a globe is a small model of the earth, while a map is a drawing on a flat surface, on a flat paper. Now there are many kinds of maps available, and we are going to learn about three of these kinds. Number one, physical map, then political map, and thematic map. Now what is a physical map? Maps which depict or show physical features, landforms like mountain, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. is a physical map. A political map shows different countries of the world and the states with their boundaries. You remember the map which I showed with the globe? That is a political map. Thematic maps are maps which focus on specific information such as rainfall, vegetation, population. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. Now, I have put some pictures for you to understand. This one is the picture of physical map of India, and as you can see, there is a box which is called the key, and it shows that wherever we find brown color in the map, that is mountain region. Wherever we find yellow areas, those are plateau region, and the green ones are plain region. And water, you see, it is denoted with blue color, it is shown in blue color. So you will learn about the importance of colors later in the lesson. Okay, so remember this map. Now you see here, this is political map of India, and here the states are shown, the boundaries are shown, and all the states are in different colors. And here you can see thematic maps of India. I have put two maps for you. The first one is showing air network map, and the second one is annual rainfall. As you can see in the air network map, there are different symbols, green lines showing the flight from which place to which place. We have red dots which show the major cities which have airports. Then we have the boundaries shown, international boundary, state boundary, and in the other map which shows annual rainfall, you can see different colors are used, and again a key is there to show which color means what. So this is based on two different themes, and these are thematic maps of India. Some important things for you to remember: maps can be bound together in a book called Atlas, and the study of maps is called cartography. The person who makes a map is called a cartographer. So remember, we have learned 5 important things now. What is a map? What is a globe? What is Atlas? What is cartography? And who is a cartographer? Okay. Now we move to language of maps. Now we have learned that maps are very handy to carry and they help in learning about the earth. Now to read a map correctly and accurately, it is necessary to understand the language of a map. We should be able to understand what is written in a map, what it means, because every map has colors, directions, signs, symbols, and scale. This is called the language of the map. Now, first thing that we are going to learn about is directions. There are four major directions which have been universally accepted all over the world. We use the same directions, and these are north, south, east, and west. Now, as you can see, north is shows to the top part, and bottom part is south. East is where sun rises, and west is where sun sets. Now we have something called sub directions. These directions, they fall in between the major directions, and as you can see, between north and east we have northeast, between south and east we have southeast, between south and west we have southwest, and between north and west we have northwest. So these are the four major sub directions: northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. You have to practice this drawing well, and using a ruler neatly we will practice this drawing. Then the second thing that is important when we are reading a map is scale, because it is not possible to show the size of each country and city of the earth on a map. Can we draw full state, our state, on a map? Can we draw full as big as it is our country on a map? No. So what we have to do, we have to make it smaller. And will we make it smaller in any proportion? No, it is in proportion to the actual length or actual distance. So what we do, we will take one example and then you will be able to understand. The actual distance between Delhi and Kolkata is about 1400 kilometer on the ground, and on the map the distance between two cities is reduced to just 14 centimeters. So we can say that a distance of 100 kilometer represents a distance of 1 centimeter on the map. So actual 100 kilometers we are showing in only 1 centimeter. So 200 kilometers will be shown in 2 centimeters. 1400 kilometers will be shown by drawing 14 centimeter. Have you understood? This is called the scale of the map. Scale can be defined as the ratio between the distance on the map and the distance on the ground. A map without a scale is called a sketch. It is no longer a map. If we draw without any scale, it will become a sketch. Here, scale does not mean a ruler. It means the proportion between the real length, real distance, and the distance shown in the map. Now, the third thing that we will remember is conventional signs or symbols. Many types of signs and symbols are used to show various kinds of information on a map. For example, a metal road is depicted by two straight lines. There are so many more symbols given here. This chart is given in your book. If there are two lines, it means two straight lines, it means metal road. If it is one circle with a dot inside, it will mean capital city. If PO is written, it means post office. If PS is written, it means police station. So you should remember these signs and symbols when you are reading a map. The next thing that we have already learned and seen in that map is colors. We use different colors to show various landforms on a map. Did we see this in the physical map? Yes. Usually the same patterns are followed everywhere. Water bodies like oceans, rivers, seas, and lakes are shown in blue color. Green color shows plains or lowlands. Mountains and highlands are shown in brown, and plateaus are marked in yellow. Remember, we saw this in the physical map of India? Okay. So with this, we come to the end of this lesson. We have some exercises which I'll be doing quickly now. So I hope all of you have understood the lesson. It is something very interesting, and then let us see how much we have understood by doing these exercises. First one is think and answer. A map showing physical features like mountains, plateaus, rivers, etc. is called a physical map. It shows different landforms. An atlas is a book of maps. Green color used in a map depicts plains or lowlands. To know the location of your town, city, which map will you buy? Political map. The distance between two cities A and B is 1500 kilometer, but on a map the distance is reduced to 15 centimeter. 15 is not there, missing, so we'll put that 15 centimeter. What is the scale of the map? The scale is 1 centimeter means 100 kilometers. So correct answer is A. 1 centimeter is 200 kilometer. Now we move to match the following. Number 1, blue will match with water bodies, green will match with plains, brown which will match with mountains, yellow will match with plateaus, and a book of maps will match with atlas. Okay children, I am sure all of you are following what we are doing. It is very simple. Now we come to C, fill in the blanks. Number 1, thematic maps focus on specific information such as rainfall, vegetation, etc. Number 2, there are 4 major subdirections. Number 3, a map without a scale is called a sketch. Number 4, mountains and highlands are shown in brown color in the map. Number 5, a metalled road is depicted by 2 straight lines in the map. And we come to the last exercise, that is write T for true and F for the false statements. And like we have been doing, we will not write T and F, we will write true and false, and we will also correct the false statements, we will correct them. Number 1, a map is not drawn to a scale, that is false, because a map is drawn to a scale. Number 2, a rainfall map is a thematic map, that is true. Number 3, the study of maps is called geography, that is wrong. We'll put there false and we will correct it. The study of maps is called cartography. A metal road is depicted by 3 straight lines, again that is false because it is depicted by 2 straight lines. And the last question, a sketch is always drawn to a scale, that is wrong because a sketch is not drawn to a scale. It is a map which is drawn to a scale. So with this we come to the end of chapter 8, maps are guides, and I am sure you must have understood it. If you have not understood, never mind, go back, read the lesson, see the video, and you will understand. In case you still have some doubt, mark it, note it, and keep it. When we have online classes, you may clear your doubt and ask your teacher what you want to know, what you have not understood. Okay, so till we meet again with the next lesson, keep safe, keep healthy, keep smiling, and keep learning. So till we meet again, bye.